So I don't usually go to movie theaters just because there's not a lot of movies out there that really grab my attention. Um, this movie, however, Hokum was different. For starters, one of the actors I'm very familiar with, I can't remember his name, but he was on a Parks and Rec and was the actor for Severance, one of the best TV shows of the last decade. He's a great actor. Not only that, but I heard that the director was really good. He's produced films like Caveat, which is one of the better horror films of this decade. Again, there's just a lot of good things I've heard, and a lot of good things going into it that I was really looking forward to. And it was also one of the first movies I've seen in theaters. The last time I watched something was, I think, was Godzilla minus one, and that was like 3 years ago. So safe to say I was coming into this with pretty high expectations. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to. It's weird because I don't watch horror films, which to some of you might not like, just because you're a reviewer but you never seen horror films. Like what the hell, bro? But I just that's not my thing. I just don't watch them like that. So to watch something like this, it's hard for me to rank because I just don't have experience with horror as a genre, so I don't know like what would be good or what's bad. I can definitely say so going into it. There's a lot of interesting concepts here. Mixes in a lot of genres when it comes to horror. Um, at least from what I know, psychological, supernatural. There's like a mystery aspect to it as well. Though, admittedly, the mystery of the whole film is kind of predictable, to say the least. I kind of figured it out a little right at like the middle of the movie. It's not that hard to figure out, especially if you pay attention to certain characters. You can kind of like piece two and two together. Which is one of the cons, I would say, is that the story can be a little predictable. You can tell pretty much at like right before the midpoint of the movie where it's going to go. You can kind of guess where things are going to go off on for the most part. But again, I won't spoil it too much as to ruin your expectations. But safe to say, the mystery aspect of this movie isn't exactly what I would describe as generation defying, but it's good for what it is. Mainly, you're going into it for the vibes, specifically the psychological, supernatural. The horror villain in this pretty interesting. Um, I don't know if I would say it's the best horror villain. There's two horror villains in this. One being a minor spoiler here, but is like a supernatural like witch type of character, and then one that's involved with the mystery aspect. Like I said, again, trying not to spoil anything, but it's pretty easy to figure out. I do have to I do have to stress that you're not going into this. This isn't like the thing where like there's multiple different interconnected parts. It's very predictable, unfortunately. But besides that, the jump scares pretty good. The design, not just for the witch, but some of the effects, the more supernatural aspects of the movie was great. Definitely one of the better parts of the film. I also like the main character, who is played by one of my favorite actors, which I keep forgetting the names of these people. I'm really sorry. I'm kind of going off the cuff here, but yeah, it's safe to say there's a lot to like about this film. Not much to say. It's definitely unique. It does a lot of different things that might not be for everyone, but I would just come into it, keep an open mind. Um, Watching in theaters as well was a great experience overall. And yeah, I would if you're interested in horror and you're interested in Irish folklore, I think this is something to check out, especially considering the fact that this was made by a very prominent director and is headlined by a pretty well known actor, or at the very least, a very good actor, in my opinion. Someone who has done phenomenal job acting wise with shit like Parks and Rec and Severance. But yeah, don't take my word for it. If you're interested in horror movies, if you want something that's different and unique, go watch this film. It's pretty freaking good. With that said, see you in the next review.